Hey everyone, how are you doing today? I have been looking forward to this interview. You've seen this gentleman on this channel before, Stratton Brown. He is a member of the Hub. He is a good friend. He and I talk at least weekly, likely several times a week. But I have never dug into the business he owns called Call Magicians. So we're going to learn about it, but then we're going to rewind the clock and just find out what kind of inspiration led to this success. If you've been on this channel long enough, you know that I do not call myself an entrepreneur. I think there's a special thing out there for entrepreneurs. And of course, I believe Stratton Brown is one of the best that I know. So how you doing today, Stratton?
Thank you so much, man. That means a lot. I'm doing good.
Yeah. So do me a favor, give Call Magician some props, how big it is, what it's doing now. But I am going to ask you to rewind the clock shortly.
So, Call Magicians, we're a virtual staffing company and call center is our main bread and butter. What else did you say? We're at 70 plus employees now. We should be pushing towards 80 this week. We help real estate investors and business owners scale their business affordably.
Yeah.
And help them process out some things that they don't know how to yet.
Yeah. Really what I see in your business today, right? And it's right on the cusp of blowing up, in my opinion, is right. Virtual staffing, call center stuff is always been interesting. But what you have coming out of this, I don't know, I'll call it pandemic, health crisis, whatever you want to call it. You have more and more people thinking about outsourcing, more and more people thinking about, you know what? I don't need to have everybody in the office. And once they think that way, does it really matter if their employees are sitting somewhere else? Or maybe they just sign up for a service and they make it a 1099 line item expense and they come to somebody like Call Magicians, right?
Well, for us, it's marketing expense, right? Because you can write them off however you want because it's a virtual assistant. You could say whatever you want our company to do. And I'm not your CPA.
Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
But that's how I handle most of my virtual assistants. I just write it off as a marketing expense.
Right. Because you put them on a task, lead management, revenue generating, whatever, versus, hiring an employee and the HR costs and the insurance costs and all of those other things. It's, again, not your CPA, but those line items are treated differently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what's it called? That's what I thought. As soon as COVID hit, I was like, yeah, like you'll start to see virtual staffing companies go through the roof even more now, especially now that people see this is what's possible and I don't have to pay these awful payroll taxes and I don't have to do all this other shit.
Yeah, exactly. So what we have here, right, in the real estate world, right, this has really allowed Call Magicians to really do some of the heavy lifting on building leads and making contacts with sellers and follow-ups and texting, really outsourcing cheaper manual labor. But I really think the upside for you is turning Call Magicians into that, let us automate, let us do it better, faster, cheaper on all kinds of small business tasks, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
I mean, the call center stuff I'm still really excited about, but on the staffing side, this is something to where I truly feel like I can help people out. Like we can come in and create someone. I don't think majority of our employees have bachelor's degrees in computer science and engineering, right? And we give them a living wage in their area. And so most of them are more educated than I am.
Right. Yeah. Which is saying something.
Right. So we can deliver
yeah.
really high quality people.
No, absolutely.
They may be in a different country, but they're educated.
Yeah. And again, I think this is going to be something that really blows up here in the next 12 months is small businesses are going to make business decisions, frankly, and go, you know what? I could hire 3 people from Call Magicians for what it would cost for one person to sit at a desk in my office in city X, Y, or Z. And the other thing is now you can really go in and have business discussions, right? You could talk to a small business, like, what are you doing today that's kind of manually intensive that you just want to rinse and repeat? Yep. And maybe you have skilled resources you want to deploy elsewhere, but you can't because you've got to get through the day-to-day stuff. That's a perfect example of where you could bring in Call Magicians, have a discussion, whiteboard it, automate it, and turn it over to people that, they don't, not sitting in, your city, your town, but they're college educated, computer science degrees, happy to come to work every day, right? Making a living wage or more in their country. And dude, I think your business is going to blow up. So any more thoughts on what the business is today? Cause I'm going to ask you to rewind the clock in a minute.
Today, I think the thing I'm most proud of is like our company culture. right? That's another thing that you don't have to worry about when you go to an outsourced company, is that we handle the culture and they just do their tasks and they work inside of our company. You don't have any office bullshit. Think about the office nonsense that everybody has to deal with when you start building out a company.
Right.
The
Yeah.
HR craziness you have to deal with when you start building out a company. To where, like, we handle all that.
Wow.
We handle building the culture. We handle keeping these people motivated. We handle all of that. So it's not what you have to think about. It's legit. It's an automation for you, and then it's rinse and repeat.
Oh, that's, yeah, I see big things coming your way. But I want to go back to the beginning because, again, I've told you before, and we've had these discussions privately. You call me an entrepreneur, and I go, "You're kidding." At best, I'm an investor or an employee. Frankly, I've said to you, I'm not an entrepreneur. But what you've done with Call Magicians, that's entrepreneurship, right? You've taken an idea that you had, and that's what I want to do. I want to go back to the beginning. What was Stratton Brown doing when you thought of the idea? And maybe you didn't even have a name for it yet. You probably didn't have a name. I think Call Magicians is an awesome name. But where were you when you kind of like, I'm going to create a, I don't know what you thought it was. Did you call it a staffing company? Did you call it a virtual staffing? I don't know. Where were you when it was just an idea?
So what is it called? I'd say not. So a year and a half ago, in like October, I'd built out my company good enough with virtual assistants to where I didn't really have to do really intensive labor. I had a leads manager in place. I had my cold callers, and it was going really well.
Just so we're clear, right? So a year and a half ago, you're Stratton Brown, the real estate investor, hub member, all of that stuff, really leveraging virtual assistants to do most of the mundane work. That's what the picture you're painting?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the picture I was painting. And then we went and did that. And then me and you did some JV marketing.
Right.
And the guy ended up fucking us over and taking $6,000. And I had to, like, we got 0 leads. Right. And so I had to fork up your marketing for the next month. I was like, whatever, like, I made the wrong decision.
Right.
I'll pay for that. And so that happened. And I had to fork out 2 different marketing campaigns for that. And I wasn't happy with the way that went. Obviously, we lost not a ton of money, but like $6,000 is nothing to be happy about.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I go to a different call center. And at a point, I'm going up to like 8 cold callers. And then I get on and I listen to their phone calls, and they were just awful. It sounded like a bunch of people in the middle of the forest. Oh. Wow. So I was like, man, I can't have this. And then COVID happens. I fire everybody. I kind of panicked. And then I have a bunch of people keep coming to me for virtual assistants still.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I could probably make some money. And so it started off as an idea of training people and then just selling the trained person. Like, okay, we'll train this person. Then like, okay, pay us X amount for the trained person. And some companies do that.
Yeah. Cost plus. Yep.
But then what's it called? Pace is the one who told me. He was like, bro, no, you need to do it for cash flow. You need to build an actual like business and get this recurring revenue.
Yeah. I like it.
And so when that happened, I knew I needed a partner because I'm a visionary, big picture, high level relationships is kind of what my forte is.
Right.
And I had a friend who I knew was a really good integrator. And so Chase Hancock, and that's my partner in this. And so I was like, hey, bro, let's do this. And we had a couple people come to us just for virtual assistants at the beginning.
Wow. To
where we'd train them up and just, okay, give us X amount. And then I talked to Pace and we completely pivoted. And then, yeah, what's it called? Within a year, we're officially like $1 million company, which is pretty crazy.
Wow. So I actually thought the story was going to be longer. That's amazing. Cause I do remember us doing some joint marketing. We'll call it a year and a half ago, 2 years, whatever. The date doesn't matter, but we were like, you know what, let's do it together. Right. We're friends. We're going to do this. And all I asked for is first right of refusal. And then, you ran the play, right? You picked somebody, you bet on him, sucked. He was a thief as far as I'm concerned. But it didn't work out. And then you saw that struggle ultimately becoming an opportunity. See, that's why I think you're an entrepreneur, right? You just have that, I don't know, you call it big picture, just to use what you called it earlier. That's not many people would go through that. Most people would go through that with the mindset and grind on, oh, I lost money for a friend. What am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. You're like, no, this is a real need. What the service I thought I was buying is a real business need. I'm going to create something better. That's what you did. That's amazing.
That's what it was. Thank you. I mean, and that's what I was like, man, this is dog shit. I wasn't getting anything that I wanted. And I
Yeah.
go to this other call center. I wasn't getting anything I wanted. And I was like, whatever, I'll fucking do this myself.
Yeah.
Is eventually what it came to where I was like, I
Exactly.
know exactly what is going to be a good quality product.
Yeah.
I'm in the business. I know who I'm servicing, so I know what they need. And then that it's turned into what it is now.
So that's it. So again, pain. You thought you paid someone else, didn't deliver, tried again, didn't deliver. You're like, nope, not doing that again. Not throwing good money after bad. You just you start something from scratch. You have one pricing model, which is probably the right way to go in the beginning, right? Cost plus, not really sure where you're going. You go meet another entrepreneur, somebody I put on Mount Rushmore, Pace Morby. And he's like, you basically said, Stratton, I think you have something here, operate different, right?
Well, he has a company just like mine.
Yeah. He's like, build it, build it this way. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to tell me twice. Change, done. And from there, you've gone to almost 80 employees in what is it, 12, 14 months? It's amazing.
What's it called? So next month will be the first official year that we are actually making money.
Wow. So in a year. And again, like we said in the beginning, I think your real growth is like right in front of you.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. So again, I just got to go back to the fact that entrepreneurs, yourself, Pace, they just you just look at the world different, right? You see noise and nonsense and disservice, and you're like, I could do something. Most people don't go through that situation, Stratton, and come out of it a business creator. I just want you to realize that's unique stuff, man.
Thank you. What I had something else I wanted to say. The staffing. I lost my train of thought. But it was, I didn't plan on building like some big company. I was like, yeah, I'll have this thing here for cash flow.
Yeah.
I was like, if this thing makes me $3,000 a month, I'll be fine. Like that's all I wanted.
Right.
And then I feel like I have an issue of doing things like if I'm going to do something, I want to do something all the way. And then it kind of turned into that to where like, okay, well, I want to have this, this, and this. If I'm going to do this, I want to be legit. I want these types of services. And then, okay, to do that, well, we need more revenue. Right. And then it just turns into that to where I'm just, okay, I guess we got to build it out so we can deliver this, so we can deliver this. So there's a cash flow for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, pretty soon it's going to be, the $3,000 goal that you thought it was first is going to be 30 grand. And if you're not careful, it'll be 300 grand cash flow. So there's just so many opportunities ahead of you in this space. And again, being the visionary, there's a lot of integrators. There's a lot of process people. I've been in the tech world and project management world forever. It's the visionaries that make this stuff go. So I just wanted you to know, that's special. Don't discount that. That's some special stuff right there that you have.
Thank you. So I'm on board with that, but I'm not, because I wouldn't be anywhere. Like our company wouldn't have done anything without my partner Chase and with like our team.
No question.
To where like
you're all over the map. You're out here in Never Land. You definitely need people running it, but there's lots of people that can plug wires and ABCs and all that. But again, going through the struggle and coming out of it almost excited, that's rare stuff.
Right. And I didn't even think about that. Like the reason I started it is because I lost money.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's like, congratulations, you thief. You stole my money. I'm going to put you out of business and do it the right way.
That's pretty wild to think about. But then like, I didn't want anyone else to go through that because what's it called?
Of course you did.
Adam lost money. Yeah. We lost money. I lost money with Kyle. And I was like, man, like I vouched for this guy. Mm-hmm. Right. And I don't want anyone else to ever go through this to where you tell them you're going to get one thing and then you get scammed, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay. So now we know how it started. We know where it's at. I want to know where your big brain's taking this thing. Where is it going? What's the next 12 months look like?
What is the next 12 months? And it's not an ego thing by saying employees. Employees just helps me do the math in my head of how much revenue we'll have, and I can take that down to bottom line.
Okay.
I'd really like to have 225 employees by the end of next year.
Okay. So just so we're clear, you say next year, calendar year, next December 2022, or are you talking next business year, 12 months?
So in 12 months.
Okay. So 12 months. Okay.
So 12 months from now, that's where I want to be.
I just wanted to know. Okay.
And that'll help me hit the top line goals that I want. And then eventually the bottom line goals.
So 225, I'll just round to 80. So you're looking to add about 145 people in 12 months. So that's a 12 people a month roughly.
And that's about like the trend we're at anyways. So
Okay. So again, I'm just playing this out, right? 12, you're adding 12 people a month, which means you probably need 5 or 6 clients a month, which means different services. I mean, this is Call Magicians is legit. So where, if somebody wanted to see if they could leverage Call Magicians, where do you send them? Website or YouTube channel?
yeah, I just go to callmagicians.com.
Very cool.
And I tell a lot of what's it called? A lot of new people, we turn them down.
Yeah.
Until they know what they're doing, right? Because they need to be able to say, hey, I'm not
Yeah.
happy with the way this is going. You need to know what it actually looks like before you go and want to pay us money.
Yeah,
Like,
you're automating a proven process, not some scatterbrained,
right? Like I need to know what needs to be done. You've done it before. And that way you know, and you could be unhappy and be like, hey, this is wrong. I want my money back.
Yeah.
Right. To where, because that's the situation I want, to where we turn down a lot of new people, to where, let's say they're just getting started in real estate and they want cold callers.
Yeah.
And yes, I'd make more money if I took their money. But then to me, I'm like, bro, it doesn't sit right. You need to know how to critique. Even if you aren't with us forever, you need to know how this process goes.
Yeah. And again, I think you're, again, without saying it, you're using your bad experience from the last time to really make sure you filter and really have the best chance of success with new clients. That's really what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
That's pretty cool. So if somebody thinks they have a process or wants to talk to you about what you could do for their business, where do you want to send them? Is it the website? Do you want them to call you? What do you want people to do?
I'd go to callmagicians.com, see if we're a good fit for you. We do real estate cold calling is our main thing. We can handle any type of virtual assistant tasks you need as well. And then if you're in the business world, we can help you process out a bunch of different things and take a lot of administrative work off your plate.
Very cool. Any closing thoughts on this? Is there a Call Magicians 2.0 coming out, or anything you want to leave with?
We're coming out, so we're releasing the staffing side. So I decided I want to have almost a parent company and then call Magicians, just because you don't get staffing out of Call Magicians, you get a call center.
Yeah.
To where I'm, even though the call center is really good, I thought staffing would take me farther. And I think about, how can I be harder to replace? It's easy to fire a call center. It's really hard to fire someone who's running a piece of your business.
Smart. Again, thinking ahead, being that entrepreneur. Well, Stratton, this has been so much fun. Again, I'm glad we got to do this. That's what I call entrepreneurship, is going through glass, crawling through glass and coming out of it smiling. Like, I got this. I'm just an investor.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. Take care of yourself. Go to callmagicians.com. Thanks again.